You're too old to start a YouTube channel. That is absolutely not true. Whether you are in your 40s or your 50s and you're thinking of starting a YouTube channel, please know that it is not too late to start a YouTube channel. I felt the same way that you did very recently before I embarked on this whole YouTube journey of mine. And I thought, oh, but Kish, by the way, I'm Kish. I thought it's too late to start YouTube because, I was in my 40s and I thought, no, YouTube is just for young people. And I was very wrong, okay? I'll admit it, I was wrong because YouTube is for people of all ages. So why should you go ahead and start a YouTube channel? You're in your 40s or your 50s and you think, oh, I have nothing to share with the world. But you do. Think about it. At this stage of your life, you've accumulated years of experience in something, right? Maybe you love cooking, or maybe you love fixing cars, or maybe you just want to share your knowledge about traveling. The thing we often don't realize is that with YouTube, right? There's a space here for celebrities. People want to watch celebrities. Yes, definitely. But there's also a space where we want to watch normal people like ourselves. We want to hear their stories, their insights, their experiences. Maybe they've traveled to Thailand and we want to know what was it like. Maybe they homeschool their children and we want to find out what that's about. And sometimes we think that we have nothing to share, but it couldn't be further from the truth, right? Your stories are important. And the thing is, as I get older, I'm now 42 years old, I realize that if we don't share our knowledge, that knowledge goes away when we pass away. And YouTube is an amazing platform to not only share our knowledge, right? You have educational platforms like YouTube where people are sharing educational content, but also they're sharing entertaining content, right? And with YouTube, you could see it as a hobby where you're just doing this for fun. It's a creative outlet. You want to also create a community of like-minded individuals, right? For example, just say you love sewing or you absolutely are passionate about fishing. And through having a YouTube channel, you build this community of people who love fishing, sewing, etc., right? And maybe you are the other end where you see YouTube as a business, where you are getting money or want to get money through AdSense. AdSense is where YouTube, right? When you watch YouTube, you'll see there are ads placed on videos. And if you have a monetized channel, then you get a bit of money every time that an ad plays on your video, right? That's if you're a monetized channel. You can also get brand deals and sponsorships through your YouTube channel. Now, you may want to start your YouTube channel, but you're nervous, you're scared to put yourself out there. And I get it. I completely get it. And here's why I get it. Because I was so scared of starting a YouTube channel that I put it off for years. I went through all those fears, the imposter syndrome. Who am I to have a YouTube channel? Guess what? Who are you to not have a YouTube channel? Why should you not be on this platform, right? The things we regret can often be the things that we don't undertake. And that's what I'm learning as I get older. That our fears can be built up to such a high extent in our minds that when we actually start actioning it, like starting a YouTube channel, we realize that yes, it's daunting. I stumbled on my words here. It's daunting, right? To be seen by people. But it's not as scary as we make it out to be in our mind, because our mind can create such stories. Our mind can just expand with the fear. But once you start taking those little steps to start your YouTube channel, to publish that first video, your fear doesn't go away entirely. No, I'm not here to lie to you. But it does slowly decrease. And what happens is your fear drops, your confidence increases. And my, oh my, YouTube is a place where you can build your confidence. Truly, truly, truly. Because when you talk on camera like this, I'm using my phone, I've always used my phone. you start to feel confident. Slowly but surely, you'll see that every time you pitch up for yourself and for your audience, right, you start to feel more confident about what you're talking about how you are on camera. And you start to realize that it's not so much about how you look or what your surroundings are like, etc. But it's more about having that connection with the person that's watching your video, right? It's more about what value are you providing. And for a long time, I was so in my head about, oh, things need to be perfect. I need to say things perfectly. Oh, if I made a mistake, let me do another take of it. And it was just such added pressure, right? But here's the thing, you're human, I am human. Why do we expect to be such perfect human beings when there's no such thing as a perfect human being? And what I am learning with this YouTube channel, this one in particular, is that it's okay to be imperfect. It's actually our strength because we are vulnerable, right? And if you can share, and I'm saying don't share too much, okay? If you don't want to share all the bits of your life, that's fine too. Share what you're comfortable with because people enjoy hearing stories. They like hearing what other people are going through because at the end of the day, we crave communities. We do. Most of us do crave that social interaction with other human beings. And now we are able to do it through this online space, like YouTube. Sometimes when we have things that have happened to us in our lives, we think that, okay, is it really something very different? Because it's the norm for us. For example, I grew up in apartheid South Africa. Apartheid was a terrible system where you could only live in certain areas based on the color of your skin. People who were brown and black, were subjected to terrible treatment. Rules were in place so that white people could enjoy all public spaces, they could enjoy the best schools, etc. It was a very unjust system where the government oppressed people of color, right? So I grew up during that time. I was born during apartheid, right? And for me, even though it was so terrible, when you are growing up in something and you don't know any different, it becomes your norm. And it's scary to even talk about things like this because you don't want to offend anyone, you don't want to get your story wrong. But what I've come to understand is that your experience is your experience, And yes, people may disagree with you here on this platform. And a lot of the times you may be scared to start your YouTube channel, right? Because you think, oh, I don't want to hear people who are really negative talk about how I look or what I'm saying. But also understand that when people come at you on YouTube through the comment section, it tells us more about who they are and what they are going through than you, right? Because if a person is positive, they are going to put out positive energy into the world. So if you are in your 40s or your 50s and you think, but I want to start a YouTube channel, but I don't have this fancy equipment. I don't have, everything in place to start YouTube. I'm here to tell you, start with the basics. Start with what you have. I'm using my phone. I've always used my phone. You don't need to start with expensive equipment. Right now, I am using a nice mic. I'll agree, it's a nice mic. But I didn't start with this. And sometimes we stop ourselves from starting something. We postpone and delay and procrastinate because we say, I'll start when I have the fancy equipment, when I have the fancy camera. I'll start when I'm really ready. Guess what? If you keep waiting for all of that, you aren't going to start. You aren't going to start because it's your mind delaying you from actually actioning what you want. Now, you may also think, well, I don't know what my channel should be about. Well, what are you really, really interested in? And what do people normally come to you for, and you're excited to chat about it? You could make 100 videos about it and you wouldn't be bored. Like, really, think about that. What are you really, where it's just fun to chat and chat and chat and chat about it, right? Nonstop, where people know you are the go-to person for this. Because you also want YouTube to be fun for you. Because when you are creating videos, yes, it's fun, but it's also work, right? And you want your work to be enjoyable. Otherwise, what's the point of having a YouTube channel if it sucks the joy out of you? You know? I also think that sometimes you may think, I'm not ready to have a YouTube channel, because you think you need to be an expert at whatever you're talking about. And for a long time, I thought the same of me. I thought, I always was prepared in my career. So with YouTube, I should be absolutely prepared. If I'm going to talk about something, I need to research it for weeks on end. And then I realized, no, you don't. I don't. Neither do you. You don't need to have all the answers to talk about something. When you're talking to your friend, you don't have like books of information just to talk about a particular subject, right? It's a conversation. So even though we aren't in lifetime right now engaging with the person that's listening to us, they will engage in the comment section. And our viewers are really encouraging here on YouTube, right? They don't expect you to know everything. So don't put undue pressure on yourself to be an expert. Don't put yourself in this really daunting situation where you feel like, if I'm going to create a video, I need to put in months of research. Guess what? You'll get so burnt out by that. Rather, just sit down, have a chat. You're having a chat with a friend. And when you sit down to create your video, don't feel like, oh, thousands of people are going to be watching me. My word, the pressure for that. Come on now, that's too much pressure, right? Rather think, I'm talking to one person and we are just going to have a friendly chat, right? And I'm cool, I'm relaxed. It's going to be enjoyable. And when you start feeling comfortable in your own skin and you start feeling relaxed, guess what? The person who's watching you feels that vibe. They feel that energy. But if you're so nervous, it's like, oh my word, what am I going to say? Oh, I'm overthinking. Oh, I stumbled on this word. Oh, I look like a hot mess. The person who's watching you is also going to feel those vibes, right? So come on. It's not like we are performing heart surgery on YouTube. Sometimes our fears can just grow to such ridiculous levels that it can feel like, oh, this is like absolutely terrifying. But really, I've learned that and it sounds so cheesy, right? But you learn to really, really embrace who you are when you start your YouTube channel, because you start to see that your strength shines through. Because every time you create a video, you are putting yourself out there, right? You are stepping out of your comfort zone. You are stepping out of that box that you created for yourself all these years, right? Because remember, when you were growing up, you didn't know social media didn't exist. You were trying something so different from your norm. And I applaud you for that, because it isn't easy. And sometimes we don't see all these wins instantly. But when you start your YouTube channel, and you will reflect on the success. And when I say success, I don't mean the views, right? I mean the success of actually consistently putting out content, of actually being in your videos and talking on camera and putting your fears aside and moving forward. That's success, right? You'll feel really glad that you took a chance on yourself and you started your YouTube channel. Guess what? You start your YouTube channel, you realize you don't actually like YouTube. You realize you don't actually want to have a channel. You can stop. Nobody says that you have to start your YouTube channel and that you have to continue forever. You have choice here, right? If this is something that you've been thinking of and you're unsure about, but that voice is saying start, but you're so scared that you have not taken that leap of faith, start and see what happens. Because in life, you have options. You don't have to start something and continue for years on end if you don't enjoy it. You can start something, see how it goes, and then decide if you want to continue or if you want to quit, right? That's the beauty of life. We have choices. And sometimes when we are thinking of embarking on something so different from our norm, we put this pressure on ourselves that, and should I not? Oh my God, the confusion. Just start and see what happens. Just start and see what happens. Now, I know that you have some questions for me, so I'm going to answer your questions. Isn't YouTube just for young people? No. The number of people who are over 40, over 50 who are watching YouTube, it's increasing every day. And actually the number of YouTubers who are over 40, over 50, that is also increasing every day. In fact, there is a need to have more people who are over 40, over 50 to actually have YouTube channels, because people want to listen to people who are our age, right? You want to see, okay, for example, if I am thinking of retirement savings, etc., I want to listen to somebody who is similar to my age, right? I'm 42. I want to listen to them because they may have had a very similar path to my life. Or if you are thinking of, okay, I want to move to New York City, I want to listen to it from somebody, again, in my age bracket. So there is a need to see more diversity here on YouTube in terms of people's ages, etc., right? So don't think that YouTube is only a space for young people, because this is just not true. Am I too late to start a YouTube channel? I have seen people in their 80s start a YouTube channel, and I admire them so much because it just shows you that they do not put their age as a barrier to start something that they are interested in. So the people that say, oh, it's too late, why are you starting now? Sometimes those voices are actually from ourselves. So don't listen to those voices, because there are people here on YouTube who are showing us time and time again that it's not too late to start a YouTube channel. Okay, so now you're like, yes, I want to start my YouTube channel. I want to get going. Now, what do I do? What do I talk about? Share your stories, share what you're interested in. You can start with one niche, one topic that you're really, really interested in. And maybe after a while you realize, I don't like this topic at all. You can change. You can then talk about something that interests you, something else that interests you. YouTube is about experimentation, right? You learn as you go along. You don't have to learn everything in one go. You don't have to read a manual about YouTube and then start. No, you learn through practice. You learn through action. You learn through actually creating content. So don't feel like if other channels are just having overnight success and you are still at 5 views, that something is just awful about you. No, it takes time to grow on YouTube. Please don't think that it is quick, instant success, okay? Because then you'll be highly disappointed. Do I need a big space to create a YouTube video? No, you don't. If you have a small room, you can use that room. You can even go outside and talk on camera, talk using your phone and document while you're outside. You don't need to have an actual studio to create YouTube videos. You don't. Is it possible to make money on YouTube at any age? Yes, definitely, 100%. Brands are also looking for people who are over 40, over 50, because they know that the people that can actually afford to purchase products, etc., are people who are over 40, over 50. So they are looking to see more YouTubers in these age brackets to promote their products, etc. So you can make money on YouTube when you are in your 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond. What niches work well for people over 40, over 50? Gardening, cooking, health and fitness, fixing cars. Basically, there is so much, but choose something that you actually enjoy. Because when you wake up and you're going to create a video, you want to feel good about it. You want to think, yay, I'm excited. And I'm not going to say you're going to feel excited every single time that you create a video, because that is not true. Some days, it can feel like a grind, right? Because you are putting work into this. But for the most part, enjoy what you're actually chatting about. Enjoy what you are creating. Isn't YouTube too saturated now? It is not. In fact, there is a need for more videos that provide value. And I'm not saying that you have to have these really high quality, highly edited videos. No, I'm saying that when a viewer watches your content, they need to feel like, oh, I've been entertained. Oh, I've been educated. I've learned something from this. This video has provided value. And if you can do that, fantastic. So YouTube is not saturated. In fact, so many people are watching YouTube on their TVs now. How much time will YouTube take? It depends. If you have a really busy working life, maybe you can publish one video a week, right? And take it with ease. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Don't publish 3 videos in 1 week and then for the next 5 months you post nothing, right? Pace yourself. You are learning, and learning takes time. So see what you can manage. Balance your life, because you also want to have a life. You also want to have time with family, friends, etc. You may say, how do I edit videos? Well, I use CapCut. I find that it is user-friendly. See what works for you. Try different editing software. See what you actually enjoy. Can I grow a YouTube channel without just dancing or being silly? Absolutely. There are channels about anything and everything, right? There are channels about science. There are channels about gardening. There are channels about creating arts and craft. There are so many things. You don't have to be like the silly person to do well on YouTube, right? There's space for so many different types of people, because there are so many different types of people in the world who are watching, right? So you will find your tribe. You don't have to be like overly like an excitable person. Is that a word? Yes. On camera either. You don't have to be an extrovert. You can be an introvert. You don't have to be somebody that you are not. Do I have to post on YouTube every day? No, you don't. Yes, be consistent, but at the same time, if you have to have breaks, if you want to have breaks, go ahead and have your breaks. Do what suits you and your lifestyle. Why is now a great time to start YouTube? Because I wouldn't say it's absolutely easy to start YouTube, but you need your phone, you need sometimes a comfortable chair to sit on, and just chat and put it out there into the world and see what happens. Take a chance on yourself. It's exciting, nerve-wracking, frustrating, all the emotions you can think of. But it's also really, really rewarding in ways that you didn't imagine. And until you actually experience it for yourself, then you can make that calculated decision whether to continue with your YouTube journey or not. Another big question is, I don't like the way that I look. How can I have a YouTube channel? The thing is, sometimes the way that we perceive how we look isn't actually the way others see us, Sometimes we can pinpoint our so-called flaws. And I think, yes, you can have a faceless channel if that's what you feel comfortable with. But if you do start showing yourself on camera, you will get comfortable with how you look. It's an amazing way to grow your confidence. Try it and see. What if people make fun of me on YouTube? You know, a lot of the times when you start a YouTube channel, you may tell all your family and friends about your YouTube channel. I will say to you, when you're starting off, maybe don't tell everyone just yet. Maybe start to feel comfortable. And if you really want to tell them, then tell them. Don't put added pressure on yourself, okay? And if people do make fun of you, remember that you have your own healthy sense of self-confidence. And people will always judge. People will always say things. But there will also be people who will be incredibly supportive. You choose to take in certain information, certain comments, certain feedback, and you choose to disregard certain feedback. Disregard the comments which are negative, the people who make fun of you, etc. Disregard that. I know it's easier said than done. And put in positive energy. Put in your healthy sense of self, right? Because at the end of the day, when you love who you are as a person, yes, there can be noise all around you, but you know what to channel. And as I get older, I feel that so strongly, there can be so much noise around us, but what are you channeling? Channel things that are positive, channel things that will help you grow, not just your YouTube channel, but grow as a person. Will I need to learn everything about YouTube? No, 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 no. Learning is an ongoing process. The same thing applies with YouTube. So you learn, you continue to learn. I study YouTube every single day because I'm fascinated by it. So you learn as you go along. Don't put that pressure on yourself that I have to know so much and I don't know all of it. No, come on, get started and learn as you go along. Can I start without showing my real name? Yes, many YouTube channels don't even have their name in the YouTube channel. So if you feel more comfortable doing that, absolutely go ahead and do that. And by the way, my name is Kesh. My YouTube channel is all about YouTube. What I'm learning about YouTube, my successes and failures, to help and encourage other small YouTubers. So if that interests you, do subscribe and also comment below and let me know where you are watching from and have you started your YouTube channel. If you have, congrats. How is it going? If you haven't, why haven't you started yet? What's the biggest benefit about starting YouTube when you're in your 40s, 50s and beyond? I think, you are creating a legacy for future generations to watch who you are, right? Your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren. Like, I don't even know what my great-grandmother looked like. I don't know what her voice sounded like, etc. But through video content, after you are long gone, you'll still be present in these videos. And I think that is amazing. And if you have something that you want to share with the world, go ahead and share it. Don't even let yourself stop you from doing it. And, I know that fear can be overwhelming when we think, oh, I don't like the way I look. I don't want to be on camera, etc. I created an entire video about this. Go and watch this next and have a beautiful week. Truly, have a wonderful week. Sending much love and light to you.